band until they could produce their first note. Now they sounded like this. Quite an improvement, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Thanks to, and that improvement is in no large part because of Mr. Pompey, our tutor staff, and the faculty that work with these kiddos. But they needed a little more work before they were ready for this performance. There are several ways to motivate home practice, an essential component to a successful band experience. One great way to motivate students and motivate home practice is by using a computer program called Smart Music. Imagine being able to perform all the selections in the book along with the professional accompaniments right on your computer. Pretty good. I'd say technology is amazing. You can record MP3s of songs, check the accuracy of notes and rhythms, and use built-in practice tools like tuners and metronomes. Okay? Students have been playing their music from tonight's concert into Smart Music, sending their assessments directly to Mr. Pompey's gradebook. It's very, very impressive when the technology works, of course. That's not always the case. We have some band laptops with Smart Music installed in our band room. Students with tech issues have been coming in before school to use Smart Music to complete their assignments. Our next selection is Clap the Dynamics. We've been using this Smart Music, using Smart Music accompaniments in class to help students prepare on how to help count and clap rhythm found in music.
50. Clap the dynamics.
There is more to music than rhythms and one note. The band learned several new notes to play in this next selection. Many of the notes have confusing fingering, so the students had to figure out which fingers belong to which notes, then change the order of those notes. Our next selection, the Fab Five, is named after the first 5 notes we learned on the 3rd week of band. This may be more interesting than the first note, but is still not as catchy tune that you could go around whistling all day. The band added a couple of new rhythms to these first 5 notes and discovered they could start playing some recognizable tunes. This might have been the moment at home when you felt, as a parent, grandparent, brother or sister, aunt, and uncle, for the very first time that music lessons were starting to take hold. And amen to that, right? That's pretty good. All right? This is what it sounded like at school that day. We don't want to bore you with all the mechanics of the next few lessons. But as the band members began to complete these, everyone was convinced that this was going to be one of our finest beginning bands ever. By playing familiar melodies, students can tell whether or not they are playing on the correct pitches. Here is a traditional American folk song we have played in class. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Austrian composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was a child prodigy who started playing professionally at the age of 6 and lived during the time of the American Revolution. Mozart's music is melodic and imaginative. He wrote more than 600 compositions during his short life, including a piano piece based on this famous song. You may have noticed that the percussion section has many different responsibilities as they move around the set. See them moving? They're over here. I'm blocking the way. Sorry, moms and dads. As they set up for each selection, percussion students must not only master the snare drum and bells, but other auxiliary percussion instruments as well. This next selection is a favorite of the band because it not only features the percussion section, but the woodwind and brass sections also. Be sure to listen for each section as the band plays Old MacDonald Had a Band. Italian composer Gioacchino Rossini. I almost butchered it, Mr. Pompey. Almost. Parker, you were almost named Gioacchino, by the way. Italian composer Gioacchino Rossini began composing as a teenager and was very proficient on the piano, viola, and horn. He wrote William Tell at the age of 37 as the last of his 40 operas, and its familiar theme is still heard today on radio and television. of the world's greatest composers, Ludwig van Beethoven, became completely deaf in 1802. Although he could not hear his music like we do, he could hear music in his mind. The theme of his last symphony is called Ode to Joy. It was composed to the text of a poem by German writer Johann von Schiller. Ode to Joy was featured in concerts celebrating the reunification of Germany in 1990. That's Beethoven, people. That's Beethoven. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm just saying, it's Beethoven. I mean, it's incredible. I can't even spell Beethoven, and they're playing it, so it's amazing. The band has come a long way since they produced that first sound and has worked very hard to be able to prepare for this very first performance in such a short time. This has certainly been an exciting evening for all of us, and we're glad that you are here. Support at home is vital to your son and daughter. Support at home is vital if your son or daughter is to continue to grow at this fast rate. Your interest can make all the difference in the world. We will have our next performance in May. Seems like a long way away, folks. It'll be here before we know it. This concert will feature the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade bands, along with the Magsig Jazz Ensemble. It totally rocks, people, in a band jazzy thing kind of way. It's awesome. And so please join us so that you can enjoy the band performing together, as well as follow their progress and musical growth. Our next selection is When the Saints Go Marching In. It is often used for jazz funerals, a tradition of New Orleans, Louisiana. While on the way to the cemetery, a band would play the melody in a slow dirge. On the way back, the band would switch it up to a familiar upbeat or hot Dixieland kind of style. While this tune is still heard as a slow spiritual number on rare occasions, from the mid-20th century on, it has been more commonly performed as a hot number. The song is still associated with the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans professional football team, the New Orleans Saints.
Exciting evening. This is my favorite concert of the year, mostly because of the cookies afterwards. But seriously, it's my favorite concert because I've been doing this for a few years and I'm always amazed at what happens between that first week and this week. It's unbelievable, the progress. So I'd like to thank you for all of your support. All those morning classes are really helping us get to this level. And I'm also excited about May because the level of complexity of music just keeps rising and rising as we go along through the curriculum. We've had a lot of help with private lesson teachers, and we have some high school students coming and helping us occasionally during the days. And you've heard about our band mentoring program with high school students pairing up with middle school students. We had an overwhelming number of middle school students wanting to be paired up with a high school mentor, and not enough high school mentors. So we'll hopefully continue to expand that program. One of the reasons we're trying to expand that program is due to finances. We've eliminated our tutor program. So we're trying to make up as much time as we can. In that end, I'd like to encourage you, if you're on the fence about getting private lessons, that's a great way to assist the curriculum and get some great confidence going. It's a one-on-one weekly session with an instructor. And if you'd like some more information about that, simply email me or call me, and I'll be sending you information as well, because after tonight's concert, we're giving you preferred scheduling with our lesson teachers. And so that will last for about a week, but they'll be able to respond to you really quickly with any of their openings. So I can assist you getting together, and I would like to assist you getting together with that. There have been many adjectives to describe our next soloist. Brave, foolhardy, and birthday boy. Please welcome to the stage our cymbal soloist for tonight, Mr. Seth Brave. I didn't tell Justin I was going to do that.
Good job.
It's a good thing you did. He wouldn't have come.
Way too loud. Way too loud. Half that loud. Half that loud. Yeah, way too half that loud. Audience needs to hear you. Would you like to hear one more?
Not with the symbols.
You have just witnessed the first performance of the Magsig School 6th grade band. How did they do, everybody? Mr. Pompey, was that hard rock? Was that the hard rock? That was hard rock. That was amazing. Hard rock. We are pleased and gratified with the accomplishments of these kids. Awesome. Amazing what they're able to do. And look forward to their continued membership in the Magsig band. It will take the musicians a few minutes to clean up their instruments and put away them properly. Feels free. I can't say it. It's easy for me to say, especially after that cymbal performance. Still can't hear real well. So.
Neither can we.
Please feel free to meet up with Mr. Pompey and the students at the reception in the front cafeteria. So if you go out these back doors, down the steps, you're right there. All right? And once again, we thank you for your continued support in music education, in our schools, and in the lives of your kids. You all are the best. Have a great, great evening.
Yeah, he was going to do all that, man. Would you have been nervous?